Hello everyone, this video goes through the story of Evil Within 1 and 2. Detective Sebastian Castellanos and his partners, Joseph Older and Julie Kidman, arrive at a crime scene located at Beacon Mental Hospital. Having arrived, they find a massacre has taken place inside the hospital, with the place now seemingly deserted. After finding a sole survivor, Dr. Marcelo Jimenez, Sebastian witnesses through a hospital CCTV fellow officers running from and firing upon an unseen force. They are then brutally killed by a disfigured, supernatural hooded man, who then appears behind Sebastian and attacks him, knocking him unconscious. Sebastian awakens in the basement of a hospital and is forced to flee from a monstrous man wielding a chainsaw. Upon reuniting with his colleagues, they attempt to escape via ambulance while Crimson City is destroyed and rearranged by a massive earthquake, eventually causing them to crash. Freeing himself from the wreckage, Sebastian wanders through unnatural forests and abandoned buildings full of monstrous creatures and witnesses the apparition of a disfigured man in a white hood. Trapped in a nightmare world, Sebastian encounters one of Beacon's doctors, Marcelo Jimenez, who is searching for his patient, Leslie Withers. Jimenez identifies the hooded stranger stalking them as Ruvik. Sebastian gradually realizes that what he's been through after entering the Beacon Mental Hospital is not in the real world, but some virtual place created by Ruvik. He eventually reunites with Joseph, though it is shortly revealed that Joseph is suffering from a strange form of transformation which compels him into a murderous rage. The two eventually find and rescue Kidman from drowning in a crude contraption, though they are soon separated again after hearing a high-pitched noise. Elsewhere, Kidman is being forced to relive memories of her indoctrination into an organization known as Mobius. It is revealed that Kidman is actually an undercover agent sent by Mobius to retrieve Leslie from Jimenez, apparently as leverage to force Jimenez to continue working for them. Jimenez had been working with Mobius on a project known as STEM, a machine capable of uniting minds into one, with one influencing mind at its center. Jimenez activates STEM without Mobius' permission, signaled by the high-pitched noise. But Mobius anticipates this and trained Kidman to navigate the STEM world and retrieve Leslie. Sebastian learns of the story of Ruvik through various memories that Ruvik places him in. Born Ruben Victoriano, Ruben was an intellectually gifted but mentally unstable child and was close to his sister Laura. While playing in a bomb on their family's estate, Laura was killed and Ruben was severely burned after the bomb was set on fire as an act of revenge against their parents. Deeply traumatized over Laura's death, Ruben eventually killed both of his parents, took control of their fortune, and continued to donate money to Beacon Mental Hospital in exchange for test subjects for his experiments into the human psyche. Ruvik began designing STEM as a means for him to reshape reality, so that he could physically travel back into his memories and live his life again with Laura. Jimenez then took notice of Ruvik's work and revealed it to Mobius, who wished to use it for their own purposes. As a safety measure, Ruvik calibrated STEM to work with only his brain as the core. In retaliation, Mobius simply killed him and extracted his brain for installation in order to use the machine, thus allowing Ruvik to maintain control of the STEM world. Kidman realizes that Mobius in fact wants to make Leslie as a replacement for Ruvik's brain, an easily manipulated blank state mind, which they can use to power STEM and create a world of their own design. When Jimenez, aided by Sebastian, tries to use Leslie to return to reality, he realizes that Ruvik wants to transfer his mind to a compatible host and escape into the real world. A beast created from Ruvik's subconscious kills Jimenez, and Ruvik scatters group across his mind. Kidman finds Leslie first, and is about to shoot him to prevent Ruvik from using him as a host, when Sebastian and Joseph intervene, prompting her to shoot Joseph. Leslie runs, screaming so loud that windows in the area shatter. Sebastian finds Leslie and guides him back to the hospital. At the top of the lighthouse, he sees his own body in a bathtub, hooked to the STEM machine. Kidman arrives and attempts to convince Sebastian that Leslie has to die. Ruvik interrupts them, gets hold of Leslie, and absorbs him. Sebastian battles a gigantic creature created from Ruvik's subconscious and defeats it. Waking up in the bathtub, he pulls himself off the machine, removes Ruvik's brain from the stem, and crashes it. He wakes up in the tub again with Kidman by his side, monitoring him and Joseph. Kidman motions for Sebastian to stay quiet. Sebastian falls unconscious, and later wakes up in the same tub, with no one around except for the bodies of Jimenez and Connolly. As police and SWAT reinforcements arrive, Sebastian exits the hospital and notices Leslie walking out of the main gates. Sebastian has a brief headache, a sign of Ruvik's influence on subjects within the stem, which causes him to lose sight of Leslie. It is implied that Ruvik has returned to the real world. Three years later, Sebastian Castellano has left the Crimson City Police Department, haunted by his experience at Beacon Mental Hospital. His only child, Lily, supposedly perished in their house fire, and his wife, Myra, unwilling to accept her daughter's death, abandoned him. This, coupled with his trauma, results in Sebastian descending into alcoholism. Drowning his sorrows in a bar, Sebastian is approached by former partner and Mobius agent Julie Kidman, who reveals that Lily is still alive. Sebastian is brought to a secret Mobius facility against his will, where he meets the head of the facility named Administrator. The Administrator explained that Lily is being used as core for a new STEM system to simulate an idyllic American town called Union. However, Mobius lost contact with Lily and their agents inside Union, and they have lost control over the simulation. Sebastian reluctantly agrees to help and is plugged into STEM. Upon entering Union, Sebastian discovers the town has turned into a nightmare realm, where all of the inhabitants were either killed or mutated into monsters. In addition, Sebastian witnesses a mysterious photographer with supernatural powers hunting down and murdering Mobius operatives. He managed to find surviving Mobius personnel, Liam O'Neill, Yukiko Hoffman, and Julian Sykes, who help him in the search for Lily. As Sebastian follows her trail, he learns that she has been kidnapped by the photographer Stefano Valentini, a serial killer obsessed with photographing people at the moment of their death, who managed to infiltrate Union. Stefano revealed that he had originally kidnapped Lily under orders from another party, but decided to keep her for himself to exploit her power as the core. Sebastian fights and kills Stefano, but before he can rescue Lily, Myra appears and takes Lily away. Sebastian finds himself transported to the interior of a mysterious stronghold-like area, where he is approached by Father Theodore Wallace, who attempts to convince Sebastian to join him to seize Lily from Myra, since Stefano betrayed him. Sebastian refuses and is banished to a forest outside Union, where he meets with Mobius operatives Esmeralda Torres. Upon reaching her safe house, Torres revealed that she, Kidman, Myra, and Theodore had conspired to break Lily out of STEM and destroy Mobius from within via their chip implants. However, the plan went awry when Theodore became mentally unstable and decided to kidnap Lily for himself, who wants to use Lily's power in STEM to enslave humankind. Seeing Theodore as the most immediate threat, Sebastian goes to confront him, but is forced to kill a brainwashed lamb. Upon reaching Theodore, Sebastian is immediately incapacitated when Theodore uses Sebastian's own lingering guilt against him, and he falls unconscious. Sebastian is visited by a vision of Myra, who assures him that what happened to Lily was not his fault, and he should focus on saving her. When he wakes up, he finds out that Esmeralda has sacrificed herself to get him to safety, and that Theodore has erected his stronghold in the center of the Union. Both Sebastian and Yukiko assault Theodore's stronghold, though Yukiko dies in the process. Sebastian climbs the stronghold to confront Theodore for the second time, who throws Sebastian back to his previous memories in Beacon Mental Hospital. Horrified memories swallow Sebastian, but he overcomes and defeats them one by one. As Sebastian burns Laura to death, which also eventually defeats Theodore, Myra arrives and kills Theodore herself, while warning Sebastian to stay away from her and Lily. Sebastian follows Myra, whose desire to protect Lily has made her insane and obsessed with keeping Lily locked in the stem for her own safety. Myra lashes out at him, forcing him to shoot her, triggering her transformation into a large being called a Matriarch, forcing Sebastian to reluctantly battle her. Sebastian defeats the monster, releasing Myra and knocking her back to her senses. He prepares to take Lily out of STEM, but Myra refuses to follow, explaining that as part of the plan to destroy Mobius, he must take Lily's place as the core of STEM to transmit implant-destroying signal. Meanwhile, in a real world, Kidman is ordered by the administrator to eliminate Sebastian. He disobeys him and helps Sebastian and Lily escape the STEM, while Myra enacts her plan, killing the administrator and all Mobius operatives. Now free from Mobius, Sebastian, Lily, and Kidman leave the facility and go off to live a new life. Back at the now abandoned Mobius facility, the STEM system mysteriously reactivates itself,